Hello and welcome to Logos College Online Learning. Okay, this is Ajarn Toto. Today I want to discuss with you pronunciation, and we're going to talk about Unit 33 in your book. Unit 33, that's page 74. Okay, so if you want to turn to page 74, follow along. This unit, it's about unstressed sounds, all right? And a lot of English, you don't stress every word. Right? There's ups and downs, right? There's a rhythm. It's kind of like music when you speak English. There's some words that you stress, and there's some words that you don't stress. Right? And words that you don't stress are mainly words like pronouns. And pronouns include I, you, he, she, it, we, they. Right? And also, words that you usually don't stress are possessive determiners, like his, her, our, theirs. Right? So, in your book, page 74, section A, there's this poem right here, and the audio, it's in British English. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send all the audio with you. I'm going to send it all to you in Google Classroom, okay? And I'll let you listen to the British audio yourself. And my audio, my sound, of course, is American English. And so once you watch the YouTube video, you can click on the audio files I send you, and then you can compare. So my American English, I can speak fast, or I can speak slow. It all depends on what my purpose of what I'm trying to say is. Okay. A lot of students ask, I want to speak fast, or how do I speak fast? And I honestly think it's more important for you to speak clearly, to be able to, so that people can understand you. That's more important to me than to speak so fast that people might not understand you, and then people might not really listen or hear everything, all the important things that you want to say. Okay? So as you're learning English pronunciation, I want you to focus on clarity. Right? The word is clarity. It means to be clear, to speak in a way that people understand you. All right. Let's go back to part A. Okay? Alright, so we're back at A, and the pronouns and the possessive determiners are unstressed. So I'm going to read this to you. Okay? I'm going to start with right here. Grace and Paul. He saw her. He liked her face. He asked her her name. She said it was Grace. She liked him. His name was Paul. She gave him her number. He gave her a call. He bought her a gift. He went to her flat. She gave him a drink. She showed him her cat. He liked her, but hated her cat. He never returned, and that was that. All right, so you notice I stress the words that are in bold, like saw, liked, asked, name, said, right? And I didn't stress the words that are pronouns, he, she, right? And I also didn't stress the possessive determiners, her, him, so on, okay? So this isn't in your book, but this gives a better definition of what words that you don't stress when you speak. So look at these phrases right here, and they all have the stress pattern stress, unstressed, stress. And the middle word right here is unstressed. Why? It's because it is not as important as the other two words. Okay, so that's the key phrase sentence right there. You want to stress the most important words in any speech, anything that you say. If it's important, you want to stress it. You want to make sure that the listener knows that this word is important, so you are going to stress that word. Right? Let's look at the first question. What's your name? All right? So the important word is name and what? Okay. What's your name? Look at the next one. Tom was right. The important words. You want people to know Tom was correct. So you say Tom was right. Right. Next one. Dogs can swim. Next sentence. Next sentence. Close the door. Wait and see. Go to bed. So these words right here, your, was, can, the, and to, these are all unstressed, all right? But remember we said that it's pronouns and possessive determiners that are unstressed. Words such as was, can, the, and, to, those are also unstressed. Right? So these are kinds of words that are not normally stressed. And they're pronouns, the verb be. Any form of the verb be is usually unstressed. Right? Am, are, is, was, were. Right? Those are all unstressed. Auxiliary verbs. Verbs like can, should, will, have. Right? Those are helping verbs. Those are auxiliary verbs, could. And those are usually unstressed. Right? Articles. So remember in English you have three articles, the, and un. And those are unstressed when you speak. Conjunctions, and, or, so, but. Right? Those words are also unstressed. And lastly, prepositions. Usually the short prepositions, to, in, on, at. Those are the ones that are unstressed. All right. Look at this note right here. It says negative auxiliary verbs are usually stressed. Right? And why is that? It's because when you have words like don't and can't and hasn't, when you want to say something in the negative, you want the listener to know that no, don't do this. No, you can't. Right? So you stress negative auxiliary verbs because you want to be clear to the listener what he can or can't do. All right? All right. We'll skip that. Actually, we'll come back to this. So look at this phrase, all right? And the first one is stress, stress. And the way you would say this short sentence is that man. Okay? The second one you would say it like this. That's the man. The third one you would say like this. That was the man. And the last one you would say like this. That could be the man. Okay. So the important words are that man. And whatever you throw in between here, it's not as important. Okay, notice the is an article. We don't stress articles. Was is a form of verb be. We don't stress the verb be. We don't stress auxiliary verbs like could. Again, be, we don't stress, and the, we don't stress. All right. This is in part B of your book, okay? Again, up here it says clarity versus speed. Do you want to speak to where people understand you, or do you want to speak fast? Okay? Maybe you want to do a little bit of both, where you kind of have like a nice balance in the middle. All right. In fast speech, speakers may cut the sound from words like he, his, him, and her. So these words, when you're speaking fast, you sometimes leave out that H sound. You say it, is, him, her, instead of he, his, him, her. Okay? The next bullet point says the sound at the end of her is often pronounced if the next word begins with a vowel sound. So I speak American with an American accent, and people in the United States, Americans, they really like to pronounce the R sound. Right? The British might sound like this, huh, huh, but in the United States, in American English, we say her, her. we have a heavy R sound. All right, let's look at these sentences right here. So he, I, we, those are pronouns. She, you, they are also pronouns. And we don't stress pronouns. Possessive determiners, here you see her, him, them, him, me, us, your, their. We usually don't stress those either. So the small dot, small circle is unstressed, big circle is stressed. So let's look at this box. So you would say the words like this. He saw her. Right. Next one. I liked him. We heard them. So the next, let's go over here. So now there's four syllables, and you would read it like this. He liked her face. Okay. Next sentence. I lost my keys. In the next sentence, you met our son. Okay. So there's ups and downs when you speak English. It's just like music, there's rhythm to it. Okay, let's go down to the last one. So there's 5 syllables. There's 5 words, and it reads like this. Okay. She showed him her cat. You told me your name. And last one, they lent us their cow. I grew up in the southeastern United States, and sometimes my accent comes out, sounds a little funny. So it says, they lent us their car. All right, down here, let's move on. Pronouns and contractions. So we know what pronouns are, and contractions, we also know what contractions are. Remember, you take 2 words and then you combine them, like I am becomes I'm, right? You are, your. Right? Those are examples of contractions. Not pronouns we know are usually unstressed, but contractions are also usually unstressed. Okay. We talked about pronouns. Let's move on to this. Oh, before we go to contractions, look at this note right here. All right, this is very important. It's exactly what I want to say. You don't need to copy the fast speech pronunciation. You don't need to speak fast. Right? People will understand you if you use careful speech. But you need to be able to understand fast speech. All right. So as you improve your English, you're gonna be able to understand people that speak English fast, and you're gonna improve on that. You're gonna get better and better and better at that. Okay. But when you start speaking faster, when you're able to speak faster, you don't have to. Just talk, careful speech, clarity. Make sure people understand you. All right. That is more important than speaking fast. Okay. So pronouns, when you join pronouns with the verbs be, have, and will to form contractions, right, these are unstressed. All right, let's look at the first box. Right, this is part C in your book. Page 74. First box says it's pronoun and the verb be. Right? So the pronoun in this sentence is I, and the verb be is am. I am. Right? And you pronounce it like this. I'm. Right? And it's one syllable. I'm. And it's usually unstressed. So you say this sentence like this. I'm waiting. Right? You don't say, I'm waiting. No. I'm waiting. Let's look at the next one. It's you and are, and it's your. The British, this is the British phonetics. It says yo. It just says simply yo. You're talking. Right? In America, the American English sounds like this. You're talking. The British say you're talking. Right? You are talking. You're talking. In the next pronoun, he and is. His, he's, he's sitting. Right? He's sitting. Next one, she's walking. Right? They're speaking. They're complaining. We're watching. It's raining. So we don't stress contractions when they come with a pronoun. Right? That was a pronoun and the verb be. Here's pronoun and the verb have. Right? I have becomes I've. Right? You have, you've. You also don't stress this. Let's look at this sentence down here. We've kicked it. All right? You read it like this. We've kicked it. Right? You don't say, we've kicked it. No. We've kicked it. Same thing with it. It's broken. And then the last column, you combine a pronoun with will. I will, I'll. You will, you'll. He will, he'll. Go all the way down here and it will. Notice they want you to know that it will is 2 syllables. Not one. All these other contractions are 1 syllable. Right? They'll, will. But it will is it'll. Right? It'll help if they mend them. Right? That's the one that is 2 syllables. That's the only one that's 2 syllables. So be careful when you speak that. The note, don't use contractions at the end of a sentence. All right, so be careful with this. When someone asks you, are you a student? And you answer yes, yes, I am. All right, we don't end a sentence with a contraction. We don't say yes, I am. No. Yes, I am. Yes, he is. We don't say yes, he's. All right. We don't use contractions at the end of a sentence. All right. This again, this is another example of pronouns joining with auxiliary verbs. Okay. The thing to remember here is we don't stress contractions of pronoun and auxiliary verb. When they come together, we do not stress those words. Okay, this is exercise 33.1. Actually, I'm going to stop this video here. I'm going to go over the exercises in the next video, and I'm also going to talk about your homework in the next video. Okay? Exercises are on page 75. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send that in a Google slide, just like your previous pronunciation homework, and you can just simply edit the slide right here, just like I'm doing. All right. He liked her face. Okay. And all you have to do is just edit the slide there, and remember, Google saves it for you. You don't have to save, and then once you get done, you don't hit share. Don't share with me. Okay. Things to remember about Unit 33. We don't stress pronouns. Okay, we don't stress pronouns. I, you, we, he, she, it, they, us, we. We don't stress those. We don't stress possessive determiners. His, her, our, us, we, them. We don't stress those words. And we don't stress pronouns. We don't stress the verb be. We don't stress auxiliary verbs, can, should, have, will. We don't stress those verbs. Articles, no. Conjunctions and short prepositions, we don't stress. And before I let you go, let me see. And the last thing, remember, it's more important that people understand you than for you to speak fast. Okay? Thank you for watching. That's it for now. Be sure, if you haven't yet, subscribe to YouTube where all your videos are at, okay? If you have any classmates that need help, please help them. I've tried to make videos. I hope you're watching all the videos that all the teachers have been making, especially in your Google Classroom stream here. I post things like, I post things like this, messages, because a lot of students aren't sure of what to do to hand in homework or how to unsubmit homework. But check your stream, and again, if you have any comments, questions, or comments, please post them in Google Classroom, and I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Okay, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a good day.